This Lion fan base, Coach, they have been craving home playoff football since this building opened in 2002, and they've got it today at Ford Field in Detroit. Today we continue on in Wild Card Weekend with a great NFC matchup between the New Orleans Saints and the Detroit Lions. Winner go home is the mantra, and off we go. We're underway in this NFC wildcard game. Short kick here, fielded about the 17. And he'll be brought down here as the penalty flags come in right away, and we may have a face mask here right at the start. So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. A carry now for McKissick. And he's going to take this across the 50 and into Saints territory. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2.
Brings up 2nd and 2 at the Saints' 45-yard line.
8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. A first carry now. This is Johnson. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook. Go play action. Toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
No room to be had there on the first down run as he's lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. Well, if you look where that play starts, O-line versus D-line, that was a battle won by the D-line.
Yeah, and oftentimes it's won by quickness off the ball. Who can handle the guy across from them best? On that play, the defensive line did exactly that.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
Let's set a tone, fellas. Let's set a tone.
They'll run with McKissick. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
And for the Saints here on 3rd down, an extra defensive back on the field. Faking the give to Johnson. Now it's Stafford. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Here is Matt Prater now. He's got the leg for this as he holds the NFL record with a 64-yarder back in 2013. This will be spotted just shy of midfield, a 59-yard attempt. That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short, no good, and this will remain a scoreless game.
Partner, doesn't seem like it, but that's a tough spot for a kicker. First drive of the game, and they're calling on him. He should be warmed up. He should be into the game, but sometimes it's almost like, oh.
In the end zone, can you give me a 30, 40-yarder? A long one, and he can't connect.
Check 49, check 49. Under. Slam. Watch safety creep. Watch safety creeping.
They'll run for the first time with Sony Michel. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Come on, come on. Hey, switch gears, switch gears. Rush in, rush in, rush in. Check 23. Easy, opposite. Watch out.
On the ground, this is Michelle. 14 yards is the pickup. First down, New Orleans.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
He's not going to get me.
Now Breeze. And this is Cook with a grab. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. They'll run with Michelle, and only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Open man is Michael Thomas. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a 1st down.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Brings up 2nd and 9 at the 10-yard line.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. They stay on the ground. This time it's Michelle. And he'll get about 4 there as he takes it from the 10 down to the 6.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4. On the ground is Michelle. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. A 6-yard touchdown run as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Well, these guys have won 3 straight ball games and another good start to this one out to the 6-0 lead.
And I've talked with so many different coaches, as have you, along the way, and they always talk about winning streaks and the mood of a team and how much easier it is to actually prepare during that time. Guys are sharp, guys are focused, everyone's feeling good, and we're seeing it early in this one.
Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. And a short kick, taking it about the 16. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line.
At their own 29-yard line.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, well, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29. To throw again. Stafford completing it here to Marvin Jones. Came up a little short on the last pass play. They did get 9 yards out of it, leaving him with his 3rd and 1.
Let's get off the field.
Stafford now to throw. And that will be incomplete. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, only thing larger than his name is wingspan as he knocks that one away. That makes him now 0 for 2 here in the first quarter on 3rd down conversions.
And now they'll look to their defense because they need them to step up so they don't fall further behind here in the early going.
And here now the punter, Martin, booming this one away. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They have to be thrilled with that first drive. They got them the touchdown. Now they'll be looking to make it a 2-score advantage here on the road.
And you know they spent all week in practice, in meetings, talking about taking an early advantage. Being the road team, going up a score, that takes the crowd out of the game and puts some doubt in the minds of their opponents. Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
And he gets this up just shy of the 30 to the 29 before he's out of bounds. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down.
And it's 3rd down.
Ready? Yellow lady, yellow lady.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Michelle. And he's going to get to the 31, enough for the first down. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And then the next breath they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up first downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
Important to do, especially early in the game like they have. Now Michelle, and he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. To throw is Breeze. To Michelle on the screen. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down. Well, that 2nd down completion, something of a disaster, and now they're left with 3rd and long. From the gun, it's Breeze. And that is incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. And here's Morstead now as he sends this one away. Just 21 yards on the punt there. And the Lions will take over. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle. You know, we always look to the quarterback, but sometimes it's another player on the team, a star, a veteran, someone with some excitement and energy. It's like, all right, guys, let's shake things up and let's go, because they still have an opportunity to make things happen.
Shake it off. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports.
Check, 47. I'm up.
On 2nd and 9, Stafford And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's third down.
Out routes are always timing routes, and if the timing's off just a little bit, it can really throw off a play. It looked like he led him a little too much there.
Yeah, there was a fraction of a second because he caught it, just couldn't stay in bounds. After an incomplete pass on second down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. From the gun, here's Stafford. And he'll find Galladay. That's complete. His first catch of this wild card game, and it's good for a first down.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
Good work after the catch. Going to net him 23 and a first.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
Check. Zebra. Hot, hot.
The first down carry here for Johnson. He's able to get 6. A nice pickup down to the 21.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
The last run got 6. Now 2nd and 4.
You can't block me. You can't block me.
Stafford going to give this one off to Johnson. And not much to speak of there. Maybe a yard down to the 20.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. The Lions on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. Now Stafford. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller sensed that the screen pass was available. Whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure against the defense. And it worked very well there for a first down.
And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. Give him 2 yards on that one. 2nd and goal now. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
2nd down and goal. Stafford hit from behind, and he's going to be driven down. Alex Anzalone coming in hard there on the blitz, and he gets him 7 yards behind the line of scrimmage. The Lions on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. They're looking at a 3rd and goal here. They will run it. It's McKissick. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on 3rd. This situation in the 4th quarter, you go for it. But here, take the points.
If you go for it here and don't get it, you and I are missing our plane, and we're going to the post-game press conference to hear him justify it. Because the next thing we'll see is the owner walking in announcing a firing. There is no way he goes for it here. Get the field goal. It's the first half of the game. You've got time to make it up.
So he gets a shot at atoning for the earlier miss here in the first half and able to knock it through.
And what a relief for him, don't you think? Because how many games have we done where kickers missed one early and never gotten a chance to atone for it the rest of the game? That's a lot to carry around.
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line.
At their own 28-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
Trey Flowers there on the tackle.
Brings up 2nd and 8 at the 31-yard line.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Check three.
On the ground, Michelle looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
The Saints on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 8.
5-9. Check that. We got Mike 52 right here. Let's go. Hey, box truck. Let's go. You tighten up.
Shotgun now for Breeze. Gets this to a standout receiver, Thomas. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 3rd catch of this first half for him, and this one is a first down.
Ready. 95-56. Roll your job. Shoot. Slam. Ready, tackle.
Off the draw, here's Michelle. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 14.
Yellow lady. Check 52. Come on. Hey, check. Watch the screen.
Now Breeze. That'll be complete to Cook. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
The Saints on 3rd down. They've been near perfect. 4 for 5 to this point. This time it's 3rd and 3.
5-1.
Working from the gun, it's Breeze. 2nd quarter action with 1:59 remaining. And unable to connect. If he had caught it, it would have been a first down. A reminder coming up at the half, as we've done all year. We'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. Coach will have the lowdown on what's going on here in this wild card weekend as we begin on the road to Super Bowl 53 in Atlanta.
And this is one of the risks you run when you attempt a long field goal. If you miss, the defense takes over the spot of the placement. So now they've got a chance to get one more drive in before halftime.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And last time able to get 3. That's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Johnson. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 15 yards for the Lions there on a 1st down.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Eluding the pressure right. He'll get this one to Galladay. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. So now then the penalty's got him set up with a 1st and goal. They'll run it with Johnson. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. The free safety roaming all the way up to the line of scrimmage to make that stop.
How about his ability to trust his eyes and figure out it was not a pass play and go fast towards the line of scrimmage in order to make that tackle?
They'll go again from the 3 here on 2nd and goal. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. A 3-yard touchdown run. And the Lions have taken the lead.
And while that touchdown does not give them an insurmountable lead, it's still
left on that clock, so some work to do.
I like that. I like how you're guarding against a letdown there.
Already looking forward.
Coaching them up from right up here in the booth.
They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. And Stafford's going to take it himself. Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a 4th down. Defense didn't budge on 3rd down. Now what are we going to see on 4th?
We are soon to find out, but does this feel like old school football or what, right?
Yeah.
This is an old-fashioned goal line stand. I know what I would call on offense. I would go for it. And I want some type of a play where my quarterback has a chance to run it or throw it. I don't just want one static play.
And the 12-year veteran knocks it right through. And they'll get it back within a point at 7-6. So, yes, they'll still be down going into intermission, but the deficit is now made even smaller, very manageable.
Yeah, and if nothing haywire happens here in his last couple of precious seconds, they will go into the locker room with a nice bounce in their step, having gotten a little bit closer on the scoreboard.
So we come upon halftime here in this NFC wildcard matchup as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. Here's Prater now set to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the 3rd quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that.
Don't get nervous. Big ass, big ass, big ass. Check 3, check 3. Let's break it down, fellas. Break it down.
Again, it's Michelle. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point. Going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Now a 1st down carry. It's Michelle. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Now they'll throw with Breeze. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 29-yard line.
And the Saints first down.
So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 as they're down to the 29-yard line. Throwing now is Breeze. Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. And their inaugural sack of the game coming from an unlikely source.
You mean it wasn't a linebacker? It wasn't a defensive end?
It was somebody like you.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, that's a surprise for the offense. That's not what they normally get when they think about pressure.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Here's Breeze to throw. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Justin Coleman. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
From the 22, here's 2nd and 8. Back to throw, Stafford. He's got his man, it's Curse. And he's able to get up here to the 26. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Brings up 3rd and 4.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Out of the gun, Stafford. He's got him in, complete. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. Give him 32 on the play.
It's your first drive of the second half. You're down on the scoreboard. Maybe you just say to yourself, let's take a shot and see if we can shake them up. And, boy, they hit that one.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Now a 10th carry for Johnson. He's got a first down or more inside the 30. And down to the 27-yard line. 15 yards for the Lions there on a first down.
First downs have not come easy, and neither have runs like this throughout this game.
Absolutely not. He finally felt like, whoa, a sigh of relief. We got something going in the running game.
Set, 250. 47. Here we go.
They stay on the ground on first with Johnson. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. It's a gain of 10 for the Lions and a first down. Consecutive plays now where that offensive line has really created a lot of space.
And we've seen the confidence rise, haven't we? It borders on arrogance now, and that's that good arrogance, believing you can run the football whenever you get good and ready.
Ready. Go 20. Check back 47. Come to my work. And middle.
Here's McKissick. And he's eaten up at the line of scrimmage. Might have gotten a yard down to the 16.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Set, 180. Mark 27. Three bud.
On 2nd and 9, Stafford. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
A field goal would get them the lead, but that's not what they're shooting for as they come up on 3rd down. A shotgun snap for Stafford. Open man, he's got him, the tight end Hockenson. And the tackle made at the 13. He is well short of the first. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down. Prater's kick is good. And they jump back in front here. It's 9-7. All 9 points for him coming via the field goal, and this last one puts him out in front.
All the field goals are great, but you know I'm going to get pessimistic here, right? Because you've got to score touchdowns to win games in the NFL. I just wonder if all these field goals, great now, or if they'll come back and haunt them later on.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. Of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
He's checking. Kill. Check. Fresno.
And it's Michelle once again. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a 1st down. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that would look pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard, inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
And now it's 1st and 10, a big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage.
Alert 3. Check 31.
Following the penalty, Michelle. And they went the wrong way there, losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Ready. 5-8. Let's go, tight end. Let's go right here now.
Throwing on 2nd and 14. Breeze. This is complete to Michael Thomas. And he'll get it down here to the 43. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
They run it with Balaj. 3rd down turns to 1st with that 5-yard pickup.
We all love to have a home run hitter in the backfield. Guy can take it the distance. But in short yardage, trying to pick up 1st downs, that big guy, always a nice luxury to have, isn't he?
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Watch the run. Check. Lucky.
On the toss, here's Michelle. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. Now on 2nd and 13. Breeze. And that one knocked away and incomplete. Nice job defensively on what will be the final play of the third quarter. 1 quarter remains in this NFC wild card matchup. And that'll do it for the end of the second quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. The Saints on 3rd down. They've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. This is going to be 3rd and 13. To throw, it's Breeze. He wants it all for the end zone. And it'll be intercepted. Good positioning, and it's picked off. He couldn't get the hook up there that time with Thomas.
Brandon, offensively, this has been a tough day for him. Trying to find a place to throw the football. It's been extremely difficult. I've got to give a lot of credit to the secondary, especially the corners who've had the receivers on lockdown.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. Now listen, it's a team game, we know that, but where would these guys be right now, Charles, without their defense, right? Take over here following the turnover. Defense, and he's taken down. Back at his own 7. Cameron Jordan in there to bury him for a loss of 11.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Throwing is Stafford. Open man is Galladay, complete. And he's able to get up here to the 26. That one good for 17 as they're set up better now for 3rd down.
It's now 3rd down.
The Lions on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is 3rd and 4. There's Stafford. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now, give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline. You rarely call your punter a weapon, but he certainly was there. How about that? Pinning him down at the 1-yard line and helping out the defense in a big way. I'm telling you what, if I'm a defensive coordinator, I might be thinking safety right now.
The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership.
First down.
Now they have a little more space to maneuver from the 15, 1st and 10. They'll run it. This is Michel. And if there was a lane there, it closed up quickly as he stopped for no gain. 2nd down. This run defense has been pretty stout all game long. Now you're here in the 4th quarter. Just rely more on the passing attack?
I don't think you have any choice, and I don't think you have to dress it up at all either. Throughout the first 3 quarters, you're still trying to convince the defense that you may run the football. That's out the window right now. Protect, let your quarterback operate, and try and find some targets in the open field downfield.
And the pressure will get to him. He goes down. Now there is a flag on the play, but this looks like holding on the offense. Every penalty so critical at this stage of the game as now they've got it 3rd and long.
51 the mark, boys, 51. Here we go.
On play action, it's Breeze. And And the throw there going to be incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. So from their own end zone here, this kicks away. Only 29 yards on the punt there. Definitely not his best. And the Lions will have excellent field position here as they take over 1st and 10.
Set! 180! Check, 47. Time to go, night. Here we go.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Johnson. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And it'll be 2nd and 12.
At the 42-yard line.
Set! 180!
I can't believe they let you play. I can't believe they even let you play.
They go to Johnson again. And very little there. He might have gotten a yard. Yeah, I think he got a yard to the 41.
That's what I'm talking about.
Vision is so important for the man in the middle because his ability to look through all the clutter that's happening in front of him, diagnose a play, and
possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. From the gun, Stafford. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Eli Apple. And he's able to bring it up 5 yards shy of midfield to the 45-yard line. A critical error there in a tight game of the 4th.
all you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the 4th quarter. Turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the 4th quarter with a lead, no matter what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. Tracy Walker in on the tackle.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on 1st down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run.
Ready? 5-9. No.
They'll keep it on the ground. Michelle. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. A Saints 1st down there on a gain of 11.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run. Got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now.
Ready? You ready? Get him! You're good. I'm full. Ready, take it.
Throwing on 1st down is Breeze. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Trey Flowers, credit him with a sack, and it goes as a loss of 6.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. On 2nd down, Michelle. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down. 2 minutes remain, and that's our score differential as well. 2 points here in the 4th quarter. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On 3rd and long, it's Breeze. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Romeo Okwara in there to drop him as that clock continues to run.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Game on the line, season on the line. They're going for it here on 4th down. Breeze to throw for it on 4th. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Mike Daniels. And as a result, their playoff run may end right here. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now Johnson, and he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Again, it's Johnson. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to bring up a 3rd and about 7 left. And now the question everyone's wondering, look at the clock, late 4th quarter, do they put the ball in the air here on 3rd?
I don't. I run the football, and I tell my offensive line, no leakage up front. I don't want my running back hit as I hand the ball off to him. I don't want any type of an issue. But if I am going to throw it, like that.
Well, they need to get to the 29 if they want to pick up a 1st here on 3rd down. There's Johnson. He's been busy this afternoon. And a good job defensively. They stop him short of the 1st at the 32. Now the Saints will use their 3rd and final timeout as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe. And that will push the lead up to 12-7. So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They're down here in a 1-score game, but the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not.
And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by Justin Coleman, and they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line. And the Lions will take the knee here with victory in the cards.
Hey, 250. Check, 47. I got him.
They go down to a knee, and that will do it. They are moving on here in the playoffs.
It's now 3rd and 13.
And losing in this wild card round, they've got something to build on, though, for next year. But I don't know if they want to hear that right now.
Maybe not at the moment, But once they get away from it a little bit and they get into their off-season program, and they'll start to talk about that. And I like how you framed it, building blocks, building this program up. And one of my favorite coaches always talks about brick by brick, you build a program. And this is one of those bricks to build them towards the next season where they think they have a chance to advance farther.